Good morning. My name is Frank Caputo, Member of Parliament for Kamloops, Thompson-Nicola, and I am so proud to stand before you, not just as a Member of Parliament, but with all of these amazing members of our caucus, including our Deputy Leader here, in support of a private member's bill that I just tabled, the bill that will be the most substantive change to intimate partner violence in Canadian history. For far too long, intimate partner violence has been a crime that's committed behind closed doors, a crime that goes vastly underreported. It impacts every socioeconomic group. It impacts all people, no matter who you are, all occupations. We recently had the homicide of Bailey McCourt, an innocent victim in Kelowna. All she was doing was living her life, a life that was cut short by intimate partner violence. And for far too long, we as parliamentarians have sat idle while people die. The vast majority of homicides involve intimate partners, and that's why today I tabled a private member's bill with the support of my caucus. That private member's bill will do four things. First, it will create a new offense of assault intimate partner. There's a fundamental difference between assaulting somebody at the bar or on the street and assaulting an intimate partner behind closed doors, a relationship often of psychological and economic dependence. Secondly, it will make murder of an intimate partner first-degree murder, just like murder of a peace officer, murder in the course of another offense, or murder that's planned and deliberate. Third, this bill will create a mechanism by which judges can have a risk assessment conducted while a person is on release. That means that if somebody's showing the red flags, but they're still not detainable, they haven't breached, but all the red flags are going off, and we all know what those look like, that an intimate partner victim, a judge or a prosecutor can make application to the court to have that person brought in for 7 days for a risk assessment. Last, this bill will streamline and modernize the detention of seized goods. It's my honor to be standing here with my amazing caucus members to introduce this bill. I urge all parliamentarians to pass it and to pass it as soon as possible so we can deal with one of Canada's greatest issues when it comes to violence. Dominique?
Bien sûr, merci beaucoup. Alors, bonjour à tous, à chacun, chacune. Merci d'être présent aujourd'hui. C'est évidemment un grand plaisir pour moi, mais aussi pour l'ensemble de mes collègues avec nous aujourd'hui, mais l'ensemble du caucus conservateur, de réaffirmer, bien sûr, l'importance du projet de loi qui est déposé ce matin par notre collègue Frank Caputo, et aussi en profiter pour souligner les mesures concrètes qu'il propose pour mieux protéger les victimes de violences entre les partenaires intimes. Je ne vous le cache pas et vous le savez, la situation est assez troublante et préoccupante. La violence entre partenaires intimes est la forme de violence la plus fréquente contre les femmes. Elle est largement sous-déclarée. Et les victimes sont souvent prises dans un cycle de violence. On peut imaginer souvent dans quel contexte elles évoluent, avec une dépendance émotionnelle, mais aussi économique. Selon Statistique Canada, un léger rappel, 60% des crimes violents se produisent entre partenaires intimes. Cela représente près du tiers des crimes violents signalés à la police. Alors, que vient faire le projet de loi de Frank ce matin? Premièrement, traiter le meurtre d'un partenaire intime, qu'il soit ancien ou actuel, comme meurtre au premier degré. Deuxièmement, il vient créer de nouvelles infractions. Des agressions contre un partenaire intime, mais aussi le harcèlement criminel d'un partenaire intime en fait partie. Troisièmement, il vient exiger que seuls les juges puissent libérer une personne reconnue coupable de violence entre partenaires intimes dans les 5 dernières années. Il vient aussi permettre la détention préventive des accusés pour une évaluation du risque, décidée là aussi par un juge. Et finalement, il vient moderniser les preuves saisies. Alors, vous savez où logent les conservateurs? Nous logeons depuis toujours et nous logerons toujours du côté des victimes, évidemment pour faire écho aux propos de notre ami Frank, nous souhaitons vivement que ce projet de loi soit rapidement étudié et qu'il puisse recevoir l'assentiment et l'accord et l'appui de tous les parlementaires du Parlement canadien. Merci beaucoup.
What kind of indication did you get from other parties and from the Liberal parties that they are looking at it and they're looking at it seriously or not?
Thus far, I've had positive feedback. Obviously, they haven't seen the bill in its full form. To me, this is a bipartisan issue, an issue that transcends every party. I know that we even had Premier Eby, who's actually here on Parliament Hill today, talk about making murder of an intimate first-degree murder. This is a bipartisan issue. I hope the Liberals will get behind this. I hope the Bloc and NDP will get behind this and that they get behind it very quickly.
Et Madame Vien, quand on regarde la question des violences conjugales, violences domestiques, violences de partenaires intimes, féminicides, à quel point un projet de loi comme ça aura un impact sur le terrain, vous croyez? Comment ça aura un impact?
Bien, écoutez, il y a plusieurs éléments qui font en sorte que la violence contre les femmes est actuellement en hausse. Là, je ne vous l'apprends pas. Là, le nombre de féminicides actuellement au Québec est au nombre de 12. En 2022, les statistiques les plus récentes de Statistique Canada, sauf erreur, sont à 184 féminicides au Canada. C'est en constante augmentation. Alors, tous les gestes que nous posons, ici à l'intérieur du Parlement ou ailleurs dans la société civile, vont porter des fruits. Mais il faut prendre les décisions, puis il faut passer à l'action, et c'est ce que nous faisons aujourd'hui.
Mr. Caputo, I want to ask you on another subject, the federal government asking the Supreme Court to clarify the use of the notwithstanding clause. I wanted to know where you stand on it, where the Conservatives stand on it, and whether or not there is this sort of same concern because they're asking, they said that the continual use of the clause would amount to indirectly amending the Constitution. How do you feel about it?
How I feel is that we're here today to talk about intimate partner violence, something that has been vastly underreported, something that is really a scourge on the Canadian public, and I'm here to shine a light on it. That's how I feel about it. Thank you.
I can appreciate that. Would you permit me just, as the Justice Critic, just to...
I'm actually the public safety critic, so if you have a question for the Justice Critic, with all due respect, it should go there. Thank you.
How quickly do you want that to proceed?
How quickly? Well, I'm actually number one in the order of precedence, so let's see it read. Hopefully next week we'll get to second reading. That's my hope. And really, this is ultimately up to the Liberals. I feel as though for far too long, crime and safety and justice, they've taken a back seat. And Conservatives have been beating the drum of victim concerns for so long. And it's time that we put those concerns to the forefront. They're at the forefront of the minds of all Canadians. Well, it's time that these concerns come to the forefront of parliamentarians. And this is one small step, so I hope that the Liberals will show some good faith in advancing this. As I say, it's a bipartisan issue, but the ball is in their court. As you can see, we as Conservatives are 100% behind ending the scourge of intimate partner violence, ending the continued victimization of everybody, including the Bailey McCourts of the world, including the person who's just trying to sleep in their bed, the person who's walking down the street. As Conservatives, we believe in common sense legislation that will change these things. And this bill is one step in that direction, but it's step one of about 100 after 10 years of this Liberal government putting victims second. I can say this, as Conservatives, we will put victims first today, tomorrow, and every day.
What about the hate legislation that we're expecting even as soon as tomorrow? That has a public safety component. It's going to have bubble zones or in places of worship and community centers. Any thoughts about what we've heard so far about that from the government?
You know, I haven't seen the legislation. It would be inappropriate for me to comment without having read it. Thank you.
What would you like to see in it?
At this point, I want to see what the government has to say, and then we'll go from there. Thank you.
Okay. Madame Vien, dernière question, si je peux me permettre. Avoir un meurtre, une désignation automatique de meurtre au premier degré, quand vient le temps de la violence conjugale, la violence domestique, la violence des partenaires intimes. Est-ce que ça enlève pas un peu la flexibilité des juges et des avocats? Et est-ce que ça tient en compte la possibilité, par exemple, que quelqu'un, en essayant de se défendre de façon légitime, devienne à être accusé de meurtre au premier degré alors qu'il ou elle n'avait pas l'intention au départ de le faire?
Nous, dans le contexte de l'ensemble des violences faites aux femmes, aux filles au Canada, c'est un contexte qui est extrêmement préoccupant. M. Caputo a fait de nombreuses consultations sur cette question-là et il a l'appui de plusieurs groupes, dont des groupes de femmes. Mais je peux vous inviter à poser la question en anglais parce que c'est une question qui est très pointue, très technique pour M. Caputo, si vous voulez répondre.
If you go straight to first degree murder, and let's say the assailant is male, the victim is female, she reacts in self-defense, she kills her partner, how do you, if it's first degree murder automatically, how do you make sure there's the flexibility in the system so the victim is not being accused of first degree murder? Do you follow what I'm saying?
Somewhat. I mean, as a former prosecutor, as a former parole officer, the law of self-defense would operate there, right? Murder is, frankly, murder is very hard to prove. And I can say that as somebody who prosecuted a number of murders. You have to show intent. So if somebody is acting in self-defense, then they're not guilty of any murder, let alone first-degree murder. There's Supreme Court of Canada has commented on this in a case called Lavalley many years ago, so I don't have any concerns in that regard because the laws of self-defense would operate. And we as Conservatives are actually attempting to strengthen those laws of self-defense in this Parliament.
Okay, thanks, folks. We got to get back to that.
Thank you. Shout out to my wife.